Bigger than routine politics, it is a way of thinking that is incompatible with individual responsibility and success. Sounding best to those who understand it the least, socialism is a mindset rooted in fear, envy, and what I call groupism. Like a vicious cancer, once it takes root, it is hard to defeat. A simple scan of history proves this point. Here's a succinct, street-smart definition for you. Socialism is excessive government intrusion in our personal and business lives. Tactically, it is when the government uses its authority to take your wealth or property and transfer it to another group of people for whom it deems to be more worthy or politically useful. Pastor Adrian Rogers put it this way: our government cannot give to anybody anything that it does not first take from somebody else. Think about the preceding statement. It's worth repeating with a simple paraphrase. The government cannot give you money without first taking that money from a fellow citizen. Pastor Rogers added, when half of the people get the idea that they do not have to work because the other half is going to take care of them, and when the other half gets the idea that it does no good to work because somebody else is going to get what they worked for, that, my dear friend, is about the end of any nation. One of the main reasons the United States has been so richly blessed is that our system of liberties, rooted in free will, has allowed individuals to flourish, to come alive as artists and athletes, as entrepreneurs and entertainers, as school teachers and firefighters, as corporate tycoons, ministers, and political leaders. This is a really good thing. After all, God does not make groups. He makes purpose-filled individual souls. Today, unfortunately, many clergy have cowered and conformed to the winds of political correctness rather than standing in the gap, sticking to the scriptures, and defending the principles that matter most. But make no mistake, socialism is a toxic side effect of secularization. As we passively allow God to be pushed out of the public square, government expands, and the bigger government gets, the smaller we as individuals become. By smaller, I mean less in command of our own destiny, less influential in who we can become and how we choose to carry out our self-chosen pursuit of happiness. Remember this, the Bible is about giving. Socialism is about taking. Socialism has never worked. The Bible has never failed. Professing values that contradict the fundamental principles of Scripture, socialism is not the way, the truth, or the light. Our Creator made us with the insatiable appetite for freedom, for thinking independently and designing our lives to fit our individual dreams. The Bible instructs us to be wise, industrious, excellent, thrifty, charitable, debt-free, and optimistic. But socialism clogs these instincts to be valuable in the marketplace. It undercuts our resolve to work, to invent, to produce, to create, and to own. Socialist policies put arbitrary limits on personal achievements, suffocating the divine spark of innovation that has increased prosperity for millions and will continue to do so if it's not snuffed out as a consequence of trendy and impulsive groupthink from our young people and widespread passivity from their elders. Socialism limits individual freedom, depresses excellence, and rewards mediocrity. Perhaps worst of all, socialism promotes an entitled, something-for-nothing mentality clearly incompatible with God's principle of sowing and reaping. Keep in mind that freedom without God is just another way of illustrating the nature of evil. When God is pushed out, government moves in and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We cannot mask the consequences. There's an old parable that speaks of a wise man and a foolish man. I presume both had good intentions. The wise man, however, built his house on a rock, and when the storms came, it stood strong. Then there was the foolish man who built his home on sand. When the rains came and the winds blew and the streams rose, his house fell with a great crash. In practice, socialism is like building on the sand. We must not be misled. Socialism will not spread success. It will spread mediocrity and misery. And should we not correct course soon, we must expect nothing less. We cannot let this happen. This is Tommy Newberry, because mindset makes all the difference.